Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm jumping on Facebook Live. Had an awful lot this last week of comments, positive comments. I think they were positive about the sermon that I preached last week at Friends Church. I shared a link to it live on my site. I know John Grafton had filmed me live, sneak attacked me from the front row, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because a lot of people have been coming up to me and asking me questions about it or telling me it was a really good sermon and a lot of other things. But I wanted to clarify something, and there's quite a few points now that I'm realizing that I need to clarify. So I'm here in my cloffice. I'm sitting in the cloffice right now. I actually just got done making it's almond milk cafe latte, cold brew coffee, and I put organic dark chocolate in it too. So yeah, that's kind of been that's my superfood shake right now that I'm using to energize myself. But I wanted to talk specifically about what do you want, and something that kind of came up in a discussion, and I think there's a whole lot of pieces to this that I'm going to hopefully help piece together through today and maybe in the next couple of days. Because a lot of people say what they want, but they don't really come out and say it. They don't really come out and write it down and put it down. And I thought, why is that? Why is it so hard for people to just answer that question? Because I asked somebody the other day that was talking to me about the sermon, and I said, well, what do you want? And they struggled to answer that. And I thought, why is everybody struggling so hard to talk about what they want? I know what I mean, it's pretty simple for me to just rattle off what I want. I know what I want my life to look like. And then it hit me last night. I was actually talking to my daughter, and it hit me about the whole issue of what do you want? And here's what the issue is. So you're going to get ready for this. This is going to mind blow you. You don't believe it. Yeah, I said it. I just blurted it right out there. I didn't even give you a warning, so sorry about that. Just kind of threw you under the bus. But really, you don't believe it. You don't believe that what you want is truly possible for you. That is the biggest hang-up I'm seeing. Because when I say to people, well, what is it that you want? They hem and haw and stutter. Folks, it isn't that hard. I mean, really, if you want to be debt-free, I don't care if you're $400,000 in debt. You want to be debt-free. You need to be debt-free in 5 years because you've got some major life events coming up. Okay, so what you're like, there's no way I can do that. I can't pay off $100,000 a year. Who said that? Who said you can't? See, and the whole thing comes back to, and I want to thank Matt Hennessy at church today. Matt Hennessy is doing a sermon series at our church on the miracles of Christ. And it was really interesting how he compared the two different types of people, the way they reacted to what Jesus was trying to do as a miracle. And one of the people, really what it came down to with the first set of people that responded was they did not believe it was possible. They didn't believe. They were like, there's no way this defies everything that my life experience has shown me. I don't think that's possible. And we've got to get away from that. Everybody thinks that people that have actually made it and are successful and gotten what they want have some kind of luck. That is not what happened. They literally believed it could happen, and then they move forward. And the reason you have such a hard time, the reason I have a hard time in some areas of my life, really believing that what you're throwing out there to the universe is possible, what you're actually speaking out loud. You need to speak it out loud. Write it down, speak it out loud, what you want. You need to say it out loud so you hear your voice saying it. But a lot of the reason that people are struggling with what they want is because they don't believe it's possible. And so they go, well, yeah, I'd really like to, be able to repair my relationships, or whatever it is you want to do. I'd really like to own my own business, and that's what I'm gunning for, because I realize that's me. That's what I have to do for my future in my life, is to be my own CEO. Everybody is their own CEO. It's just whether they want to own up to it or not. But you're the CEO of your life. You are in charge. And it amazes me that a lot of people hold back because they don't really believe it's true. They don't believe it's possible. So when I ask the question, what do you want? What I'm really saying is, irregardless of whether you think it's true, believable or not, irregardless if it makes sense or not, what do you want out of life? Because if you want it, trust me, there's a way to get it. There is a way to get it. Now, it might be hard. It might seem impossible. You're like, there's not enough hours for me to work that hard in a day. There probably is, because there's probably somebody out there doing right now what you would like to do, and they're getting it done. They're succeeding at what you're trying to do with bigger hurdles than you are. And they would blow your mind if you got a chance to meet those people. I've had a chance to meet some of those people. I've got a friend, Ruth, 3 years ago, didn't want to know. She was so far in debt, she didn't even want to know how far in debt she was. And in 3 years, she knows exactly how much debt she has, and it doesn't even scare her anymore, and she's paying it off. 3 years ago, she didn't want to look at what her total debt was. She was so afraid of the number because she knew it was outrageous. But here she is 3 years later, total change in her financial picture in her life. And it's not all about money. Money is just choices. It's a tool. That's all it is. It's a good measuring stick. It's a tool. It's kind of like you're like taking care of your body and working out and everything else. That's a good tool of how you're taking care of your body, of where your mental state is. I can really tell where somebody's mental state is in terms of how they're willing to eat, how they're willing to take care of their body, how they're willing to work out. That really gives me a big picture into what their mindset about the rest of their life is. But so my whole challenge to you right now, though, is what do you want? Write it down, speak it out loud, even if it doesn't seem believable. Write it down, speak it, get it out there, even if it doesn't seem believable, because that's probably what's holding you back from actually saying what it is you want, because you don't believe it's true. You don't believe it's possible. Trust me, it's possible. Anything's possible. You throw enough loyalty and you throw enough commitment and consistency at something, and anything is possible. So I just want to leave you with that. So what do you want? I'm going to touch on a few other things over a couple more times today, and possibly into the next couple of days, because this is raising a huge conversation, bigger than I thought it would be, among a lot of different people. So I just want to be able to speak to that. So go out, own your day. You are the CEO of your life. You're in charge. Own your day. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll be back on to talk to you later. Bye.